Page 29, Minuet in G. 3/4 time, it's a minuet, of course it is. Pickup beat, 3. And I feel this dotted rhythm. It's just, I don't want to go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a, see, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. I just go 1 and 2 and I know the 16th note is in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 type thing. Eventually you just feel it. What you don't do is turn it into a triplet. Careful. That's a triplet. Don't do that. These 16th notes got to be short. Like so. So keep them short. When you get over to page 30, third line down, now we're changing the last 2 measures here. The top note needs to be legato, connect. That's what we want. That's. And here, bottom of the page, first measure, the 16th notes. You're crossing to here. I'm using this as the pivot. But all of these dotted rhythms got to be, keep that 16th note short. You can actually almost over dot it, which means you make it shorter than it should be. Just make sure it's short. So at the bottom of the page, when you at the top of page 32, this is legato in here. Watch this fingering. See there, you second line there, 5, 2. 5, 4. Now, watch out on these slurs. This is where people get messed up. There was a style way back then and before where you simply did not draw a slur over a bar line. You just didn't do it. It's more like violin bowings or string bowings. Well, that's not how you interpret this. And this, in my opinion, this should all be connected. It's all one great big long slur. At the top of the page, I would connect this all the way down through until the third line, second measure. So it's here. Like that, and then you do it again, and I would connect all that together again. I wouldn't separate any of these slurs that are marked in it. Make it all one long line. It should all just flow. Other people will interpret it differently. Can't say one way's right and one way's wrong. It's just, in my mind, this is how this should flow. Very legato, very smooth, very flowing all the way through it. And then the coda, you see, this is the same stuff we've had before. The left hand is helping out. Keep the left hand down slightly at the beginning. Now they're saying 1-1. They're in the second line. 1-1. I would prefer to connect this legato. I really would. So I would do it in the second line is here. 2, 1. That. That's the way I connect it all. And then you can lift up. So the second line is this way. 2, 1. Then lift up. Yeah, I would make that left hand legato if you can, except the last 2 measures of the second line, you can lift up there in the left hand. And at the end, for the rest, you lift up. Then on page 30, it's the same thing. All connected. 2, 1. Lift up. You've had this before. They go third line down, last measure here. They're saying 1, 2, 1. Ugh. I just do 1, 2, 3. 4, and then reach down with a little finger. Then you can collapse if you want. I mean, you got to be able to do that anyway, so why not? Top of page 31, you're up here. All legato, all connected there. The going on second line again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here. Top of page 32, broken chords, legato. Now this part's where the right hand's all legato, we want the left hand to flow too. So quietly. Just crawling around like a spider on the keyboard, keep it all connected. Put the hands together. On these, I'm used to different arrangements of this. So I'm used to 2-note slurs there. This is the last line, second measure in the right hand. Start with the first measure, the last line. I'm used to 2-note slurs there, and that's what I keep wanting to do. This arrangement connects it all. Most have to disconnect it because of the way it's written. You have repeated notes. Then you have some more of that on page 30. Go to the second line on page 30. You're here. Now, third line down, the last measure or the pickup to the last measure of that. You have some trickiness when you put the heads together. I'm going kind of fast. Just slow this down. Let's go back to the last measure, the third line on page 30. Pick up to it is here. Here, here. Take it slow and easy. So as slow as you got to go, because your hands or fingers are doing different things at different times. And but gradually speed it up over time. It's got to be smooth and even here. All legato. We're not using any pedal. We don't need pedal on this. Just the hands and fingers can do it all. It's fine. On page 32, on this legato part, both hands legato here. Feel that, and as time goes on and you speed this up, it's just not a fast piece. This is a minuet. It's not a real fast minuet. Minuets have different speeds. It's just a nice flowing. You can picture hoity-toity people dancing to this. Well, when you kind of got it under your fingers, then the idea is to know it well enough that you can start feeling and getting into the music itself. The dynamic-wise, it starts out soft. That's the right hand. Keep the left hand very soft. Up to loud. Then you go back down to soft there. Now you're soft again. And you do that some more, and on page 30, third line down, you're loud in there, and then you're starting to go soft. Now you're sort of loud. That's the top note in the right hand. Everything else, keep it softer. Come down, and then you go up to loud. And then you have sforzando. That is a loud accent, but don't be vulgar about it. And then down to moderately loud. Louder. You're going up to, you go up to here. Go up to here. And you actually come down to sort of soft there. And then go back up to loud. Go to here. And then you have sforzandos in the last line. It's just a musical accent, a very loud accent musically. Don't bang it. Whoa. Top of page 32. Supposedly you're loud. And you're going to stay basically loud throughout until you get down to the third line. You finish it up. And then you can do it again, but this time a little softer. There it's sort of loud. You can come up and down a little bit as you feel the music. You don't have to keep it right at the same level all the time. And then the coda, we've had that before. And that's really what the piece is about. You just got to kind of learn it and get to feel it. As far as the page turns go, good luck with that. It's better if you just memorized it, because you got to be able to make a page turn without messing up the beat. Well, that means you're going to have to, if you have leave out notes in the left hand. We don't like to leave out notes, but sometimes you have to. You can't leave out notes in the melody. You got to keep it going. So at the bottom of page 29, you're here. You got one beat to quickly turn the page. Otherwise, you take as long as you want, and the left hand can come in after it's done turning the page. So it may not come in. Whenever it comes in, it comes in, and that's the best you can do. And then at the bottom of page 31, same thing. Left hand's turning the page, and the left hand can come in after it's done turning the page at wherever you are. Because if you can do it, if you can be there, otherwise it may take you a beat or two. So the left hand can just jump in wherever. You won't lose so much. Now when you page 33, there's a DS al coda. Well, the DS means you got to go back to the sign. Well, good luck with that, because the sign is over on page 29. That's 2 pages back. Isn't that nice? You got to go all the way back to there. You see the sign at the top of the first full measure there, and then you play it back over to page 31, and the second line there between the second and third, or the first and second measures, there's the coda sign. Well, at that point you got to jump over, so you got to turn the page again right there to get over to the coda. All on page 33. There's no time to turn these pages, so you're gonna probably have to leave out notes in the left hand, or get somebody to turn the page for you, or as I said, the best thing to do is simply memorize it, or at least memorize the first page. If you can at least memorize that much, that saves you a few page turns right there on playing it.